Hello, and welcome back to Simple English. Most people you know are working. They go to work. They come home tired. Most people spend years studying English. But then, when someone speaks to them in English, they freeze. Think about the last time you felt very sad. Maybe you could not stop thinking about one bad thing. It stayed in your head all day. And in that moment, you said something you did not want to say, or you did something you later regretted. Here is the truth. You do not learn a language by studying it. You learn a language by receiving it, by letting it enter your mind slowly, gently, like warm water. In this video, you will learn how to be the boss of your feelings, not the slave of them. You will understand the difference between a rich mind and a poor mind. Stay with me until the end. Chapter 1. Emotional Spending, the Silent Enemy. Most people do not spend money based on logic. They spend based on feelings. This is one of the biggest reasons people stay in one place financially. You feel stressed, you spend. You feel happy, you spend. You feel bored, you spend. You see others buying something, you spend. One person buys things to feel better in the moment. The feeling passes. The money is gone. The problem remains. Another person also feels stress, also feels happy, also feels bored. But they have a rule. Before spending on something that is not planned, wait one day, just one day. Often the feeling passes, and the money stays. Emotions are powerful. They are not bad. But if your emotions control your money will always be out of control. Take a moment and think. How many times in the past month did you spend money because of a feeling, not a need? Awareness is the first step. You cannot change what you do not see. Chapter 2. Assets and Liabilities, the Core Difference. This is one of the most important ideas in money. Once you understand it, you will never look at a purchase the same way again. An asset is something that puts money into your pocket. It grows. It works for you, even when you are not working. A liability is something that takes money out of your pocket. It costs you month after month. The first person buys a large television, a gaming system, expensive furniture. These things feel good, but they take money and give nothing back. Another person spends the same amount of money on a small investment, a course that improves their skills, or a simple system that earns a little money on the side. These things feel smaller at first, but they keep giving back. Rich people buy assets. People who stay struggling buy liabilities. That is the rule. Simple and clear. Every time you spend money, ask one question. Is this putting money into my life or taking money out of it? Chapter 3. How you see money changes everything. Most people see money as something to spend. They earn it. They use it, and then it is gone. This is the first and most important difference. One person earns money and thinks, "What can I buy?" Another person earns the same money and thinks, "What can I build?" That one small difference in thinking creates two completely different lives over time. One person stays in the same place. Another person slowly builds something bigger. Money is not a reward. Money is a tool. A hammer does not build a house by itself. You have to use it with a plan. Money is the same. Without a plan, without direction, it just disappears. Take a moment and think about this. When you receive money, what is your first thought? Do you think about what to buy or about what to build? The way you answer that question tells you a lot about where you are going financially. Chapter 4. The Trap of Looking Rich. There is a very common mistake that keeps people poor. They try to look rich before they are rich. One person spends money on expensive clothes, a new phone, a bigger car. People around them think they are doing well. But behind the image, there is nothing growing. There are no savings. There are no investments. There is only the pressure to keep looking successful. Another person lives simply. They drive an old car. They wear basic clothes, but every month they put money into things that grow, into skills, into small investments, into systems that bring more money back. After 5 years, one person is still performing success. Another person is actually building it. Real wealth is quiet. It does not need to be seen. It does not need to impress anyone. It simply grows. Ask yourself honestly, are you building your financial life? Or are you building an image of one? Chapter 5. The Power of Waiting, Delayed Gratification. The modern world teaches people to want everything now. Click now. Buy now. Get it today, fast and instant. But the money game rewards something very different. It rewards people who can wait. One person sees something they want and buys it immediately. The pleasure is short. The money is gone. Another person sees the same thing, feels the same pull, but pauses. They ask, if I wait and invest this money instead, what will it become in 5 years? This is called delayed gratification. It is not about never enjoying life. It is about choosing which pleasures are worth having now, and which ones are better when they come from a stronger financial position. Here is a simple truth. Small decisions made consistently over years create big results. Not one big choice, thousands of small ones. The person who can wait, who can say, not now, but later, who can stay focused on a goal they cannot yet see, that person wins the money game. Think about one thing you bought recently that you did not really need. What could that money have become if it had been invested instead? Chapter 6. Choosing between now and later. This may be the deepest difference between a rich mind and a poor mind. A poor mind asks, what can I get today? A rich mind asks, what am I building for tomorrow? One person chooses the job with slightly higher pay right now, even if it does not teach them anything new. Another person takes the job with lower pay, but learns skills that will be worth much more in 3 years. One person spends their extra money on entertainment. This weekend, another person puts it into a small investment and does not touch it for 10 years. At first, one person looks like they are living better. They have more fun now. But in 10 years, another person has built something that one person cannot buy quickly. Money rewards patience. Time is your greatest advantage. A small amount of money, given enough time, becomes something powerful. But only if you do not touch it, only if you keep going. Short-term thinking keeps people stuck. Long-term thinking creates freedom. Ask yourself, are you making decisions for this week or for the next 10 years? Chapter 7. Value, not just effort. Many people believe that working harder will make them richer. But look at reality. Some of the hardest working people earn very little, and some people who work fewer hours earn very much. Why? Because money follows value, not effort. One person works harder and harder at the same job, doing the same things, getting the same results. They are loyal, they are tired, but their income does not grow. Another person asks a different question. Not how can I work more, but how can I become more valuable? They learn a new skill, they solve bigger problems, they reach more people. A person who helps 10 people earns 10 units of income. A person who helps 10,000 people earns 1,000 times more, not because they worked harder, because their value reached further. This is called leverage. It means your income is not limited to your personal time and effort. It can grow beyond you. Do not just ask, how can I work more? Ask, how can I create more value for more people? That question will take you much further. Final thoughts. Let us go back to the beginning. 2 people, same income. The difference was not luck, it was thinking. And thinking can be changed. And once you understand the rules, you do not just play it, you start to win. Subscribe to Simple English and join the next lesson. Now, we are going to talk about emotions. Think about the last time you felt really angry. Most of us know this feeling. Most of us have been there. The problem is what we do with the emotion. Here is the truth. Emotions are not your enemies. They are signals. Chapter 1. The Trap of Hiding Your Feelings. Many people think that controlling emotions means hiding them. They tell themselves, do not cry, do not show that you are afraid or hurt. This looks strong, but it is a trap. When you hide a feeling, it does not go away. It stays inside your body and gets bigger every day. Think of it like water behind a closed door. The water keeps rising, and the pressure gets too high. One day, the door breaks and the water destroys everything. Take a moment and think about this. Have you ever kept a bad feeling inside for a long time? What happened when it finally came out? Most people do this. They never talk about their stress because they do not want to look weak. They smile at work and say, I am fine at home. But inside, the water is rising. Then, one small thing happens. Maybe someone drops a glass or says one wrong word, and boom, the door breaks. This person starts to shout and says terrible things to people they love. They did not plan it. The water just broke through. You must do something different. You must allow yourself to feel. When you are sad, it is okay to cry. Write your thoughts on paper. Talk to a good friend. Do not pretend to be happy when you are not. When you let your feelings out, in a safe way, they leave your body. They do not build up. Controlling your feelings does not mean pretending they do not exist. Controlling means you choose a safe time and place to let them out. Rule 1. Do not hide your feelings inside. Find a safe way to let them out and then let them go. Chapter 2. You are not your emotions. Here is something that many people do not understand. When you feel angry, you are not an angry person. You are a person who is feeling anger right now. When you feel sad, you are not a sad person. You are a person who is feeling sadness right now. This difference is very important, because when you say I am angry, the anger becomes who you are. It takes over, it controls you. But when you say, I feel angry, the anger is just something you are experiencing. Like rain outside. The rain is there, but you are not the rain. Take a moment and think about this. Do you say, I am sad, or I feel sad? This small change in words is also a big change in how you see yourself. Let us look at two people. One person has a hard day. He says to himself, I am a failure. I always do everything wrong. He carries this heavy thought all day. He believes it. He acts like a failure. Another person also has a hard day. But she says to herself, I am feeling frustrated right now. That is okay. This moment will pass. She separates herself from the feeling. She can still think clearly. Emotions are just visitors. They come, they stay for a while, and then they leave. You are the house. The visitor does not own the house. Rule 2. Separate yourself from your feelings. You feel them, but you are not them. Chapter 3. Understanding your triggers. A trigger is something that starts a big emotion inside you. Sometimes it is a word. Sometimes it is how someone speaks to you. Sometimes it is just a look that someone gives you. Think of it like this. The trigger is a small match, and your big reaction is a huge fire. Most people do not look at the match. When they get angry, they think the fire just started by itself from nowhere. But it never comes from nowhere. There is always a match before the fire. Take a moment and think about this. What is your match? What makes you get angry or sad very fast? Is it when people do not listen to you? Is it when someone tells you what to do? Or is it when something is not fair? You need to know your matches. For example, maybe you get very upset when someone breaks a promise. Why? If you think about your past, maybe you will remember something. Maybe when you were a child, people often promised you things, but never gave them to you. And now, your brain remembers that old pain. So when someone breaks a promise today, your brain thinks, oh, this is dangerous, and it starts a big fire. But when you know this, everything changes. The next time someone breaks a promise, you can just stop and say to yourself, wait, this is just my old match. Knowing your trigger does not make it go away, but it gives you power over it. When you can see the match, you can blow it out before it starts a big fire. Rule 3. Learn your triggers. Know their names. Watch for them. When you can see a trigger coming, it cannot surprise you. Chapter 4. Emotions are information, not orders. This is one of the biggest mistakes people make. They think that if they feel something very strongly, they must do something immediately. I feel angry, so I must say something bad now. I feel afraid, so I must run away now. I feel hurt, so I must hurt someone back now. But emotions are not orders. They do not tell you what you must do. They are just information. They are just your body telling you something about your life. For example, anger often says, "Something here is not fair to me." Fear often says, "I feel that something is not safe." Sadness often says, "I lost something important to me." Take a moment and think about this. What is your anger really trying to tell you? What is your fear really saying? Let us look at two people. One person feels bad when his friend gets a better job and more money. He thinks this feeling is the truth. He thinks, "I am better than him. This is wrong." He stops talking to his friend. Their friendship is broken. He acts on his bad feeling without thinking. Another person is in the exact same situation. Her friend gets a better job too. She also feels bad and a bit sad. But she asks herself, "What is this feeling telling me?" And she understands. This feeling is telling her that she wants a better job too. She is not angry at her friend. She just wants to grow. She uses this bad feeling as information. It helps her to start working harder for her own dreams. You do not have to do what your emotion tells you to do. You can listen to it, understand it, and then choose a good action. Rule 4. When you have a big feeling, do not follow it immediately. Ask it a question. What are you trying to tell me? Chapter 5. The Power of a Pause. Between what happens to you and what you do next, there is a small moment, a tiny space, and in that space you have a choice. Most people do not use this space. Something happens and they react immediately. Someone is rude to them and they are rude back. Someone makes them angry and they explode. Something goes wrong and they panic. This is called a reaction. It is automatic. It is fast, and very often it makes things worse. Emotionally strong people do something different. They pause. This pause can be 1 second. It can be 5 seconds. It can be taking one slow, deep breath. But in that pause, something very important happens. The brain has a moment to think. Take a moment and think about this. When was the last time you reacted too fast? What happened next? Let us look at two people. One person is at work. His boss says something critical in front of other people. This person feels angry immediately. Without thinking, he says something sharp back. Now the situation is bigger. Now there is a conflict. He goes home feeling bad. Another person is in the exact same situation. Her boss says something critical too. She feels angry as well. But this person takes one deep breath. She says nothing for 3 seconds. Then she says calmly, "I would like to talk about this later." The moment passes. She stays in control. The same situation. Two completely different results, and the only difference was the pause. Rule 5. Before you react, pause, even for 1 second. This one small habit can change your life. Chapter 6. Other people's emotions are not about you. Someone is rude to you. Someone is angry with you. Someone ignores you. And immediately, you ask yourself, what did I do wrong? Why do they hate me? Is it my fault? But here is a very important truth. Most of the time, other people's bad feelings are about them, not about you. When someone is angry, they are carrying their own pain and their own stress. You are not the reason for their bad mood. You are just the person who is standing near them at that moment. Take a moment and think about this. Think of someone who was bad to you recently. Is it possible they had a very hard day and it had nothing to do with you? Let us look at two people. One person comes to work and his coworker speaks to him very sharply. This person spends the whole day thinking, "She does not like me. I did something wrong." He feels sad and worried all day about a problem that was never his. Another person is in the exact same situation. Her coworker speaks sharply to her too. But this person says to herself, "She seems to have a hard day today. I will just leave her alone." She does not take this bad mood personally. She stays calm because she knows that this storm belongs to someone else. This does not mean you accept bad behavior. It just means you do not let other people's storms become your storm. Rule 6. You are not responsible for how other people feel. You can be kind, but you do not have to carry their heavy bags. Chapter 7. Being present when stress hits. When stress comes, most people run to one of two places. They run into the past. They think about all the times things went wrong before, or they run into the future. They imagine all the terrible things that could happen next. But neither of these places helps you. The past is gone. The future is not here yet. The only real place is right now. Being present means bringing your mind back to this exact moment, this breath, this room, this second. Take a moment and think about this. When you feel stressed, where does your mind go? To the past or to the future? Let us look at two people. One person is nervous before a big meeting at work. His mind goes straight to the future. He thinks, "What if I say something stupid? What if they hate my ideas? What if I fail?" Before the meeting even starts, he is already very tired. He has fought 100 problems that are not even real. Another person is nervous too, but she does something very simple. She stops. She looks around and counts 5 things she can see in the room. She takes 3 slow breaths. She says to herself, "Right now, in this moment, I am okay." Her body becomes calm. Her mind becomes clear. She walks into the meeting ready. You do not need to fix everything today. You do not need to know all the answers. You only need to be here, in this moment, and do the next small step. Rule 7. When stress hits, come back to now. One breath, one moment, one step at a time. Conclusion: becoming the master of your emotions. Let us bring it all together. Strong people are not people who never feel bad emotions. They pause before they act. They know they are not their feelings. They know their triggers. And when stress comes, they return to the present moment. I am glad you are here. Let me ask you something. How long have you been studying English? 1 year? 3 years? Maybe 5 or more? And do you remember the grammar rules? The verb tables? You learn a language by listening to it. Simple, calm, enjoyable stories, stories you can understand, stories that make you think, stories that give you something valuable for your everyday life. Let us begin. Chapter 1. The Old Clock. Why 15 minutes every day beats 3 hours on the weekend. Most people think that big effort leads to big results. So they wait. They say, I will study English seriously when I have more time. This weekend, I will study for 5 hours and catch up. But the weekend comes. They are tired. They study for 1 hour and stop. Then another week passes, and another. But successful students do something different. They do a little every day, even on busy days. Even on tired days, just 15 minutes, just one story, just one short lesson. Let me tell you about two men, Robert and Daniel. Robert wants to run a marathon. He decides to train only on Saturdays. Each Saturday, he runs for a very long time, sometimes 2 or 3 hours. He is exhausted after each run. During the week, he does nothing. He never builds real strength or endurance. After 3 months, he is no closer to his goal. Daniel also wants to run a marathon. He runs every morning for 20 minutes. Short, easy runs. Some days he runs fast, some days slow. But he runs every day. After 3 months, his body has changed. He is stronger. He is ready. Take a moment and think about this. In your own life, your English, your health, your work, are you a Robert or a Daniel? The life lesson is this. Small actions repeated daily are more powerful than large actions done rarely. This is true for fitness, for relationships, for learning, for almost everything. Rule 1. Do a little, every day, never miss 2 days in a row. And the English lesson, 15 minutes of listening to a simple story every day, every single day, will change your English more than 3 hours of frustrated studying every 2 weeks. Your brain needs repetition. It needs regularity. Give it that, and it will give you fluency. So, here is your question for today. Can you find 15 minutes tomorrow? Just 15. Can you commit to that? Chapter 2. The Garden and the Storm. Why comprehensible input is the secret key. Most people think that learning something difficult makes you smarter faster. They believe that hard equals good, so they listen to fast English podcasts they cannot understand. They watch movies without subtitles and sit in confusion for 2 hours. They push themselves into deep water before they can swim. But successful students understand something different. They know that your brain learns best when it understands about 60 to 80% of what it hears, not 100% that is too easy, too boring, and not 20% that is too hard, too stressful. The sweet spot is in the middle, mostly understandable, with a little mystery. Let me tell you about two gardeners, Tom and Jack. Tom wants his tomatoes to grow faster. So every day, he pours large buckets of water on them. Too much, too fast. He thinks more is better, but the roots cannot absorb so much water at once. The plants are drowning. After 3 weeks, they are weak and yellow. Jack waters his tomatoes slowly, A little each day, just the right amount. The roots have time to absorb the water. The plants grow strong and green. After 3 weeks, the tomatoes are beautiful. Tom tried harder. Jack grew more. Take a moment and think about this. Are you pouring too much water on your English? Are you trying to consume content that is too difficult and then feeling frustrated when you do not understand? The life lesson is this: more is not always better. In many parts of life, work, relationships, health, doing a little, consistently and wisely gives better results than doing too much all at once. Rule 2. Find your level. Stay there for a while. Then grow from it. And the English lesson: find content that is just a little above your level. Not far above, just a little. Listen to it. Enjoy it. Understand most of it. That is how real progress happens. So ask yourself this: is the English content you are listening to right now a small rain or a big storm? Chapter 3. The Two Friends at the Café. Why your brain learns better without fear. Most people feel afraid when they study English. They are afraid of making mistakes. They are afraid of looking stupid. They are afraid of speaking and having someone laugh at them. So they study alone in silence and never practice. But successful students create a safe space for learning. They choose environments where they feel calm, where there is no judgment, where mistakes are just a normal part of the journey. Here is a story. Two friends, Sophia and Elena, both want to improve their English. Sophia joins a very formal class. The teacher is strict. When Sophia makes a mistake, the teacher corrects her immediately in front of everyone. Sophia's face turns red. She feels embarrassed. Over time, she stops answering questions. She sits in the back and tries to be invisible. Her English does not improve. Elena finds a different approach. Every evening, she sits in her favorite chair, makes a cup of tea, and listens to a simple English story. Nobody is watching. Nobody is judging. If she does not understand a word, it is fine. She keeps listening. She is relaxed. She is comfortable. Her brain is open and calm. 6 months later, Elena's English is much better. Sophia's is almost the same. Take a moment and think about this. When was the last time you truly enjoyed learning English? Was it in a stressful classroom or in a quiet, comfortable moment? The life lesson is this: we grow best when we feel safe. In relationships, in work, in personal development, fear closes us, safety opens us. Rule 3. Make your learning environment calm and comfortable. And the English lesson: you are allowed to enjoy this. You are allowed to relax while you learn. In fact, relaxing is not lazy, it is smart. A relaxed brain absorbs language much more easily than a tense, afraid brain. So think about where you learn English. Is that place helping you or making you freeze? Chapter 4. The Two Students. Why understanding is more important than memorizing. Most people try to learn English by memorizing as many words as possible. They write long lists, word on the left, translation on the right. They study the list in the morning. They test themselves at night, and the next morning, half the words are gone. But successful students learn words inside stories. They meet words in sentences, in conversations, in situations, and those words stay. Take a moment and think about this. What do you remember better? A phone number you read once? Or the name of your first teacher? The name, of course. Because the name has a story. A face, a feeling, a memory connected to it. Let me tell you about two people, Maria and Max. Maria is a serious student. Every evening, she sits at her desk and studies a list of 50 new English words. She is very disciplined. She studies for 2 hours every night. After 1 month, she knows many words. But when she tries to watch an English video or listen to a conversation, she understands very little. The words on her list feel like strangers in real sentences. Max is different. Every evening, he listens to a short story in simple English. The story uses some words he knows and some words he does not know yet, but he understands most of it. And slowly, naturally, the new words become familiar. After 1 month, Max can follow conversations. He recognizes words. He is not afraid. Maria worked harder. Max learned more. The life lesson here is this. When we try to force knowledge into our minds, we often push it away. But when we relax and let knowledge come to us through stories and experiences, it stays with us. Rule 4. Learn words in context, not in lists. And the English lesson is the same. Do not memorize. Listen. Let the language come to you naturally. Which student are you right now, Maria or Max? And which would you like to be? Chapter 5. The 2-in-1 Gift. Why learning English through stories gives you double value. Most people think that learning a language is just a technical skill, like learning to use a new software program. You learn the commands, you practice, you use it. That is all. But successful learners discover something wonderful. When you learn English through good stories, you do not just gain a language skill. You gain something more. You gain wisdom, perspective, ideas about life, relationships, habits, and peace. Let me tell you about two travelers, Anna and Peter. Anna visits a new country for 2 weeks. Every day, she follows a strict tourist schedule. She visits museums, checks items off a list, takes photos of monuments, and returns to the hotel. She saw many things, but she did not really experience anything. Peter also visits the same country. But he takes his time. He sits in local cafes. He talks to people in simple sentences, with many mistakes, but he talks. He listens to stories. He watches how people live. He notices small, beautiful things. After 2 weeks, Peter did not visit as many monuments, but he carries something rich inside him. Knowledge about life, about people, about himself. Take a moment and think about this. When you learn English, do you want to just finish the lesson and check a box? Or do you want to walk away with something that makes you a little wiser? The life lesson inside this chapter is this. Choose learning that gives you 2 gifts at once. When you read a book, choose one that teaches you something about life. When you listen to a podcast, Choose one that opens your mind, not just one that fills your head with facts. Rule 5. Always ask, what am I learning about life today? Not just, what am I learning about the language? And the English lesson is beautiful in its simplicity. When you listen to simple stories on this channel, you're not just practicing English. Each story contains a small truth, a piece of advice, a perspective you can carry with you. You are learning English and living a better life at the same time. Is that not worth 15 minutes of your day? Chapter 6. The Voice You Trust. Why the Teacher's Tone Changes Everything. Most people have had at least one teacher in their life who made them feel small, who corrected every mistake loudly, who made learning feel like a test and failure feel like shame. But the best teachers in the world, the ones whose students truly learn, do something different. They speak calmly. They are patient. They treat mistakes as steps, not failures. They make the student feel capable and safe. Let me tell you about two teachers, Mr. Harris and Mr. Lee. Mr. Harris teaches English in a very traditional way. His voice is loud. He demands perfection. When a student makes a mistake, he sighs and says, "Again, this is basic. You should know this." His students are always nervous. They dread his class. Some of them begin to believe they are simply not good at English. Mr. Lee teaches differently. His voice is calm and warm. When a student makes a mistake, he simply says, "Good try. Let's look at this together." His students feel supported. They take risks. They ask questions. They try new sentences, even when they are not sure. And over time, they improve, not because they are smarter than Mr. Harris's students, but because they are not afraid. Take a moment and think about this. Whose voice do you hear? In your head when you study English? A critical, harsh voice, or a kind, patient one? The life lesson is this. The voice you choose to listen to, inside your head and outside it, shapes your progress. Be careful whose voice you let guide you. Choose teachers, mentors, and friends who make you feel capable, not ashamed. Rule 6. Find a voice you trust and let it guide you gently. And the English lesson. This is exactly what Simple English tries to be for you. A calm voice, a patient pace, a safe space where you can listen, understand, and grow without fear. You deserve that. Every learner deserves that. Conclusion. The game is long, but it is worth playing. None of this is easy. It takes practice. It takes time. Some days you will forget everything you learned. That is okay. That is human. The goal is not to be perfect. The goal is to be a little better today than you were yesterday. When you switch from memorizing to listening, from stressing to relaxing, everything begins to change. You are not your emotions. You feel them, but you are bigger than them. So start small. Choose one asset over one liability this month. And practice only that one. Trust the process. If this video helped you, please like it, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe to Simple English. Every video here is one more step toward a clearer mind and a better life. Thank you for watching. Take care of yourself, and I will see you in the next story.